If you want to stand out in your business in 2025 and beyond, I believe that the fastest, quickest way to do that is to build a personal brand. Building a personal brand allows you to set yourself apart from everybody else because there's always going to be people who do the same thing that you do. So why should someone work with you? If you're a photographer, why should someone choose you over anybody else? If you're a business coach, if you're a consultant, no matter what it is that you do, why should someone pick you over anybody else? And while you might think, if I build it, they will come or they'll work with me because I'm the best, are they? Are they? If someone comes across your business online, why are they choosing you? Have you thought about that? Can they get to know you online? Can they get to know you on your website? Can they get to know you on your social media? Social media is a great place to let your clients in to get to know you better so that they can make a more informed decision to work with you. And building a personal brand does not mean that you're airing all your dirty laundry or you're telling all your life secrets to the internet. In fact, it just means that you're sharing a little bit more about your personality, about who you are, where you come from, what you think about, your opinions on things, more so than if you were just like, oh, I sell houses. Oh, I take pictures. Okay, great. But again, why should somebody choose you over anybody else? Building a personal brand can be as simple as sharing that you love watching Gilmore Girls, or you're a Taylor Swift fan, or that you love Love is Blind like I do, or you have a guilty pleasure of watching 90 Day Fiancé also like me. And if you connected with any of those things, instantly we have connected with each other, and maybe you're like, oh, maybe I'm gonna keep listening. Other things that you can share are like, oh, I'm originally from California. I live in Texas now, but when I mention that I'm from California, other people who are originally from California, we have a point of connection on that. I studied abroad in France when I was in college, and I absolutely love France. I'm a Francophile. If I could go live there, I would. And so I love all things French. Like, I watch Emily in Paris, not so much for the plot points, but just because it happens to take place in France and, live vicariously, even though it's through the tiny screen. If you love reading, you can share your favorite books. The list goes on and on. Like, building a personal brand does not have to be so personal. It can be surface level. The idea is that you want to create a point of connection. Give the audience something that they can latch onto, that creates more trust, that makes them like you more. And at the same time, if somebody comes upon your content and is like, oh, I hate Gilmore Girls, Love is Blind is stupid, then they can go the other way, because ideally what you're doing with your brand is that you're either attracting your ideal client or you're repelling your nightmare client. If somebody doesn't like the things that you like, that's okay. And at the same time, you'll start pulling in people who share your likes, share your interests, share your opinions on certain things. And it'll create a much deeper connection than if it was just skimming the surface, just talking about what you do, just talking about your industry. So, for example, like with photographers, I'm sure in your town, in your city, there are lots and lots and lots of photographers, and they probably serve all kinds of different clients, from weddings to families to newborns to high school seniors to brands to food to commercial to all the things. But if you're standing in a sea of other family photographers or a sea of other wedding photographers, how are you standing out? What are you doing to differentiate yourself from everybody else? Because at the end of the day, in most cases, the work, the actual photos, are going to look fairly similar. They're going to be on par with each other, especially if they're all kind of at the same level of experience, number of years of experience. So if somebody is choosing you over anybody else, yes, they're choosing you for your work, but also if they're choosing between you and somebody else, they're choosing you for your personality. And how do they get to know your personality? Is through building your personal brand, sharing things about you. Where do you like to shop? What is your coffee order? What do you watch on TV? Things like that. So here is a challenge for you. If you haven't started building your personal brand yet, that's okay. But what's something that you can start sharing with your audience that will allow them to come in, peek in, learn a little bit more about you? Is it where you're from? Is it where you grew up? Is it that you have a favorite sports team? Is it that you love pumpkin spice? I don't know. Whatever the case may be, let your audience in, let your followers in, let people know a little bit more about you so that there's something more than just the photos if you're a photographer, or the real estate education if you're a realtor, or cleaning teeth if you're a dentist, that somebody can get to know you, like you, and trust you, and eventually make a purchase with you if they're looking for your service. Personal brand is the one thing that nobody can take from you. Like I said, you could be in the same industry, you could be doing the exact same thing, but your personal brand, your spin on it, the way you do things is what makes you unique, and nobody can take that from you. It might be tried to be imitated, but it's never going to be duplicated exactly, because you are unique. Your personal brand is unique to you, and it's the fastest way to set yourself apart, because you can also, you don't have to make anything up. You just be yourself. Everybody else is taken. So this is my encouragement to you. Start building your personal brand. Take it step by step. Like I said, you don't have to go into the deep end and share your deep dark secrets with the internet. That's not what building a personal brand is. But give people a reason to connect with you. Why should somebody choose you beyond your work? Because your work will speak to a certain point. But once you're just competing on work, it's like competing on price, and the lower price person tends to win. So, however, when you are setting yourself apart with your personal brand, when you're setting yourself apart with your personality, that you can't compare. That's not an apples to apples comparison. That's an apples to oranges comparison, and somebody has to make a decision. I encourage you, build your personal brand, let people in, let them get to know you, and come along with me as we help other photographers build their businesses. I hope this was helpful, and see you in the next video.